Bold truth. Your kitchen counters should empower you to cook, not resemble a cluttered museum of past shopping habits. If you want a space that feels open, efficient, and modern, you'll need to rethink which appliances deserve precious real estate. But here's where it gets controversial. Not every beloved gadget is worth keeping, and many must-haves end up turning into space-hogging decorations. This rewrite preserves the original meaning and key points while presenting them in a fresh, beginner-friendly format with a professional, conversational tone. Your counters are not a stage for every appliance you own. They should be a functional workspace, not a display of decades of home shopping fantasies. At a farmer's market chat, I overheard a woman who just moved in with her mother after a health scare. She looked worn out, and when I asked how things were going, she sighed. "The kitchen. I can't work in that kitchen." You can picture the scene. A crowded counter, appliances lined up like soldiers, leaving no room to chop, roll dough, or prep ingredients. It wasn't filth or dysfunction. It was an excess of gadgets in need of a prune. Contemporary kitchen design emphasizes clean, minimal counters and built-in appliances that blend with cabinets. Excess counter clutter makes a space feel cramped and dated. If your counters overflow, it's time to decide what truly deserves that prime real estate. Here are 7 appliances that often accumulate on boomer countertops, contributing to a cluttered, dated look, and what to do about them. 1. The bread machine that hasn't seen action in years. Bread machines were once heralded as kitchen revolutionaries. The fantasy, fresh loaves wafting through the house every morning, felt irresistible. But in practice, many households used them for a few months, then forgot about them, turning them into bulky monuments to good intentions. Typical dimensions are around 12 by 16 inches and 15 to 20 pounds. Valuable space for something you might use only a couple of times a year. The process could be fiddly. Ingredient order matters, timing is rigid, and loaves often came out misshapen with a hole from the paddle. If you truly bake weekly, keep it. If not, consider storing it away or donating it to someone who will actually use it. 2. The coffee maker with a built-in grinder nobody touches. People often invest in a feature-rich combo unit, hoping for always fresh grounds. In reality, many use it as a plain coffee maker and neglect the grinder. The grinder compartment becomes a dusty reminder of lofty plans that never materialized. Modern trends favor simpler setups. A basic coffee maker or a pour-over station saves space and works just as well. If you crave fresh grounds, a separate, compact grinder stored in a cabinet is usually a better choice than a bulky, dual-purpose machine. The best appliances earn their space by being used regularly. If you aren't grinding beans each morning, that unit is likely not worth the footprint. 3. The electric can opener that's mostly nostalgia. Electric can openers once felt like a sign of adulthood. Now they're bulky, require outlets, demand cleaning, and take up counter space for a task that manual openers do just as well. Modern manuals cut cans cleanly and store in a drawer. If ease of use is a real problem due to arthritis or a similar condition, that's a legitimate exception, but otherwise the electric opener is a space waster. 4. The countertop rotisserie oven collecting grease. Rotisserie ovens promise restaurant-quality poultry at home, and some still do. The problem is size and maintenance. They're massive, hard to clean, and many households roast whole chickens infrequently enough to justify the space. Air fryers offer comparable results with far less footprint, easier cleaning, and more versatility. If you're not using a rotisserie regularly, consider replacing it with more flexible equipment. 5. The food processor that's too complicated to bother with. Full-size, multi-blade processors are powerful but often impractical for daily use. The combination of parts, assembly, and cleanup can be daunting, leaving the machine as a countertop ornament. For most tasks, a good knife, a small mini processor, or a sturdy blender handles the job with far less hassle. If you're not processing foods regularly, the space it occupies isn't justified. 6. The toaster oven that duplicates your regular oven. Toaster ovens seem convenient, but many households already own a full oven. Keeping a second, large appliance on the counter duplicates functionality and eats up valuable workspace. Modern ovens are energy efficient, and a simple toaster often uses less energy than a full-size toaster oven. If you're not cooking for 1 or 2 people who never use the main oven, the toaster oven is likely unnecessary. 7. The specialty appliance graveyard. This isn't a single gadget but a category. Sandwich makers, egg cookers, hot dog rollers, quesadilla makers, and seasonal waffle irons. These single-purpose devices feel essential when purchased but quickly become infrequently used clutter magnets. A versatile pan can handle countless tasks: pan-searing eggs, sandwiches, hot dogs, quesadillas, and more, and stores away when not in use. Modern kitchens lean toward multifunctional tools that reduce clutter and support flexible cooking. Final thoughts. A kitchen that's open and uncluttered feels different. You breathe easier, move more freely, and see cooking as a possibility rather than a chore. The listed appliances aren't inherently bad. They're only worth keeping if you use them regularly. The guiding rule is simple. If you haven't used something in 3 months, it doesn't deserve counter space. If you think you might need it occasionally, store it in a cabinet or pantry. If it hasn't been used in a year, it's time to let it go. Your counters represent real estate dedicated to preparation, not a showroom for gadgets you once imagined you'd use. Do a candid inventory. Which items are used at least weekly? Those deserve their spot. Everything else should be relocated. You might be surprised by how much more enjoyable cooking becomes when you aren't navigating a wall of dusty machines to chop an onion. What do you think about the idea of prioritizing versatility over novelty in the kitchen? Have you removed an appliance that never really earned its place on your counter? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments.